Welcome back, guys. So in this video we'll be looking at how we can create landing pages from scratch. Okay, so we'll be modeling a landing page I already have here. So we're modeling something like this. So before you get started, you want to make sure you have your images and text ready. Okay, so we'll head over to our WordPress dashboard. You log into your WordPress dashboard using the your login details, of course. All right, and the next thing you want to do is to make sure you upload your media, that is your images. Okay, the images that you want to use. So we're going to upload the logo, and we're going to upload the logo and that cover image. So all right, so the upload is complete. Okay, we have our images here. So I'm going to create a page, add a new page. So call this test landing. Okay, then we'll save as drafts, turn on the Insta Builder and launch it. So here you have the pre-made templates that you can easily edit to suit your needs. These are all the templates, and you can search according to what you want to do: quiz pages, sales pages, launch pages, webinar pages, just what you want to do. But on this video, we're looking at how we can set up a simple landing page, opt-in page, such as this. Okay, so you go to create from scratch. Okay, and so when you start this up, this is what you should find. I want to delete this widget or element. Now the background is gray. I want to change the background to fully white, so I'll come over here. Because you can see right here that the background here is fully white, so I'm going to come over here, go to page settings, go to background color, and change this to 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you can check for hexadecimal color codes on the internet. Just search hexadecimal color codes, and you have all the different colors based on your preference, what you want to do. All right, so here you have the different elements. You have these are the sections where you whatever you design will be laid upon. Okay, so you have the section. This is not really wide. Okay, like look, take for instance, this is not wide. You can see it right here. This is just the length, and then you have the wide section which takes the whole page. Okay, so you must have this section available, because whatever you are going to design is going to be laid on this element. Okay, whatever you design is going to be laid on this element. Okay, so we'll leave this because this is what we are going to use to make our designs. All right, so then the next thing here is the white background box. Okay, this is just to have your full background. All right, and this is title, that's your text. If you want it bold, you can actually use the text element to do that. This is your image. If you want to add an image, this is video, this is box element. Okay, if you want to have, let me show you guys. Okay, so on this place now, we can decide to have anything here. Okay, and still have another thing inside of it, so you can see how it works. Okay, and we have the line. Okay, this is like a divider. Okay, and you can customize this to whichever form that you want. Make it larger, make it look anyhow you want. Okay, we're going to get to all of that, but I just want to run through the elements that we have here. This is a countdown, is a timer, and this is a button, this is the opt-in, this is a three-step opt-in. Okay, and then this is a comment section. Okay, if you have to integrate your Facebook APIs and to be able to do that, then this is social share element. Okay, for this to work, you have to have your Facebook available to be able to do that. Then this is to have different columns. Okay, then tabs like a menu, different tabs if you want to have it right here. Then these are navigations. Okay, dates, questions. You want to have bullets, and if you want to insert any HTML code, CSS, or any code, you make use of it. Then you have the slides. You add your slides. You have your images, and maybe GIFs or even videos. Okay, and it will be playing. So it's going to be playing one after the other. Then this is a spacer. A spacer you can add between elements. We'll be making use of some of these elements. Okay, so this is like a short code. Okay, have a short code and you want to place it somewhere in your website. This is what you use. Take for instance, you want to track your visitors using a pixel, so you can make use of this placeholder to actually do that. You can use this placeholder to do that. So we are going to go ahead and design our landing page right here. So the first thing that we'll see here is you can see that now this is divided into two sections. Okay, we have two sections right here. I think is let's make use of the short. Yeah, so because we have two sections right here, where you have the image and where you have the text. Okay, these are two different sections. So what we're going to do is let's still have this white section. Okay, so we have this white section and this right here. Okay, and then the next thing we're going to do here is add an image here. Okay, so here we'll be having our logo. Okay, we'll have our logo right here. So we'll have our logo here. You see the logo. I'm going to reduce this. Don't want this too big. So you can see how I'm dragging it to reduce the size of the logo. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is let me hide this so you see what we are doing. The next thing we want to do, let me still reduce this, right? It's fine. Cool. Now the other thing we want to do here, okay, all right, so we want to divide this into two sections because what we have here is in two sections. Okay, so you click on this to divide, have it in two sections. You see it right here. Now I can decide to move this around to specify the amount of space I want to have on each sections. Okay, so I can decide to still remove it. Okay, you can remove it, it's off. So here, this is just to copy this whatever. If you've done or have elements right here, you've created something here and you want to duplicate it, you just click on this and it will be duplicated. You use this to delete, and you use this to set it up, create margins, create background color, have a background image, background video, borders, rounded corners, opacity, shadows, display delay, how you want. If you have an image, okay, if you want to hide this element and display it after a certain amount of time, you can do that. And like it's going to come at like the page the page does not load for it to show. So when the page loads, it's going to take some time to actually show up. Okay, so if you want to do that, then you have effects here that you can animations. You want it to jump in, like whatever it is that you really want to do. Okay, so we are going to basic page right here. Okay, so we want to divide this into two. So you can see that we have an image right here, on the other side we have the text and the opt-in button, okay, that leads to the opt-in form. Now guys, you also want to make sure that you have your opt-in code generated from your autoresponder. Okay, so we're going to have an image on this part. So go over here, go to upload. I'm going to have this, use image. Okay, so we have our image here. We're going to reduce the size of this image, so we can still even reduce this. Okay, all right. So next thing I want to do is to add this text right here. Remember, this whole thing here is the logo. Okay, so we're going to add text here. So we need to bring the text element, or we can use the title element, but I want to use the text. Okay, I'll show you how both of them look. So you do that according to your preference. So you can see that it is different. It just comes as a paragraph. Okay, titles look larger, okay, than the text element, but we can still decide to use this and increase the font size, all right, to match this. Okay, so it just depends on what you actually do want to do. Okay, both of them are basically the same. You can still work on them and increase them. You can see it's heading 2. Okay, take for instance, like, let me show you guys with what is here, and let's say the title, and we can change this to heading 2. So you can see that both of them are same. Okay, so it depends on your preference, but both of them works the same way. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and delete this. Okay, I'm going to be using dummy text for this, so I'm going to copy this. Okay, but you want to have all of your text ready. Oh, I will, let me come up with something. Free guide, 45 minutes SEO guide. SEO guide to rank any website to the front page of Google. This is quite cool. So I'm going to reduce this a little. Okay, and we can make this red to make it more prominent. So we have that red. Okay, and what else are we going to do? Theirs is red here, but we're having ours here. We can decide to change the font. Okay, let's use Helvetica or Tahoma. Perfect. And we can still change the font size here to something. Okay. So we can still change the alignment also. So we have this is the subhead. Okay, this is the subhead. Okay, or the subtitle. So I'm going to type in something. Yeah. This works perfectly, even if it's your first newbie friendly SEO guide. So I'm going to make this our subtitle. Okay. Change the text color. So this is what we now have. Okay, so the next thing we want to do now is add the button right here. Okay, the button is what will lead to our opt-in form. Now there are two ways we can just have our opt-in form here, but you can see that this is not same as what we have right here. We want someone to click on a button like this and it leads to an opt-in form. Okay, so what we are going to use will be different from this. So what we need to do is bring in the button element. You can see the button element right here. Place it here. Okay, it's cool. I wanted to. Should we add space? Okay, it's fine. So we'll go to configure it, and the test gain instance access. uh, Access. So now, all right, I think that's it. Okay, so we can increase the font size a little bit. So I think this works perfectly, right? Okay, so we can change the color of the button. All we need to do is head right back and we can see hover state colors. So this is the hover state color. When you hover on it, this is what you see here. Okay, so we can decide to change that to, let's say, red. Okay, because we have red there. So we can decide to change it to red. So the hover state will now be red. You can see it here. It's not red. Can make it more red. Yeah, I like this color. So I think the blue still looks fine, but we have orange here or yellow. Yeah, it looks like yellow. Yeah, so we can change the normal state color. You see the normal state color here, and is blue. We can decide to change it to orange. Okay, but I love it when it was blue. But this still looks good, right? Okay, so we'll leave it at that. And another thing you can do is you can decide to add any icon. Okay, like say access icon, like something like this, and that isn't here. Okay, but it's something. Okay, you have an access like an icon here. So let's see. Those are the icons that you can make use of. Okay, so you can add something like that, and then below it there are still tests and all that. All you need to do is bring in other text elements here, and let's use dummy text this time. Modify, paste. I'm going to delete this. Okay, and change this to blue. Yep. Okay, so we have it there. All right, so you can see it right there. We can decide to, it's underlined here, right? Yeah, so we can decide to also underline this. Okay, so we just click on here and to be underlined. So that is it. And we can make it clickable to anywhere we want it to direct to. Okay, all you need to do to make it clickable is just highlight and insert a link right here. Okay, so maybe a new window or anything you want, okay, to be taken to that window. Okay, so that's how to do that, but we're going to stick with this, and there is more text here. No need to copy. I already copied it, so bring in another text here. Let me make it a little different. It looks so same. Okay, and let me make this a little bit bold. So you can see our page now, how it looks. Okay, I think this is a little bit too bold. It's too bold. It's too bold. So I'm going to take that off and change the font family to something a little bit heavy. Okay, so that does it. Perfect. So you can see our page right here. So the next thing we want to do is add an opt-in form. So once someone clicks on this right here, an opt-in form comes up for them to type in their details, their email, their phone number, their names, and it goes straight Once submitted, it goes into the auto responder. So we're going to edit the form right here. Okay, and then we go to, remember, you can have talked on every of these. Okay, this depend on how round you want the corners to be. You can see the corners of the button is changing. Okay, and this is just the display effect, what you want it to do. You want it to bounce into the page animations. Okay, so what we want to do is to create a target link, but here we don't want a URL, we want a pop-up. Okay, now we edit our pop-up. So this is where we'll now type in our bring in our widget of our form widget or form element, where they will need to fill in their details. So the first thing I'll bring in is a test. Okay, and I'm going to space this at the top. Okay, it looks better to me that way. And then the opt-in form right here. So once they click in, this is what they're going to see. I'm going to still bring in some text right here. Say your information is safe with us and will never be shared. So we have this here, sent this, and that looks cool. So I'm going to edit this. It's basically same thing we have right there. Free guide if you know nothing about this. Alright, so we increase the font to something around this. You can play with this. Okay, this I'm just doing this to just show you guys how exactly. So you can decide to send to this, change the color like we did initially. Have something here, free guide. So here you want to make sure you have your HTML code to your form from your autoresponder. Okay, I want to assume you already have that. So you go to edit. Okay, and here you have our HTML code. But first, let's look at the fields. Okay, form field, vertical, of course, that's what we want. The size, field size, so you can change the field size to how you want it. You want it to be longer, you want to be bigger, longer, you see that. So I want to be smaller, longer, so this looks fine. And the other thing we can do here is you can manage feed here and add more feeds if you want. Okay, you just click on add feed and delete any feed as please, and you can make it required. Okay, and do play around to do all the that you really want to do with your fields. Okay, right now we're just going to stick with first name and email, or name and email. All right, so the other thing we want to do here is look at the opt-in button. Okay, you can decide to make this an image, okay, and upload your image right here. So but we're going to keep it to the CSS image. Okay, and we can edit the button, change the text here, grants me access now, change the font size. Okay, can change the button style to, maybe you want it to look glossy. You want to change the normal state and hover states, you can decide to do that. You know, let's see, make it red. Then the hover states, if someone carries his cursor to the button, okay, so we can have the hover state to anything we want. Okay, but I love the blue, so let's leave it at blue. Okay, any other thing is you can add icons. You can decide to put this grant me access now. And so that's basically it. So the next thing we want to do now is uh, add our HTML code. So I already have my HTML code all copied here. I'm going to copy it, come over here and paste it, right? And I'll click on process. You can see it. So it has been processed and fully integrated. Okay, now I have it this way because of the form itself. So you can set up your form code and limit your options of what you want people to fill in. Okay, so next thing we want to do is click on save. Let's hide this. Click on save. Now these have been saved. Let's view this. So you can see right here, guys, this is now our landing page. You can see that it looks so much like what we have here. Okay, so you can decide to model in it. If we click on this now, this pops up and we can fill in our details right here. Whatever it is we want to fill, click on grant me access, and the person gets subscribed to your list. Okay, to your mailing list. That's how easy it is to design a landing page like this. So I'll see you guys on the next video on where we are going to be talking about how you can design a sales page, a full sales page. Okay, so I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye for now.